December 24th. That date alone is stopping a lot of people in their tracks right now. Because if you're on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or survivor benefits, you may have heard something that sounds almost too good to be true. That money could be hitting accounts right before Christmas. Some people are waking up, checking their bank balance, checking again, calling a spouse or adult child saying, "Did you hear we might get paid early this year?" Others are confused, nervous, even frustrated because they're hearing different things from different places. One person says yes, another says no. Facebook says one thing, YouTube says another, and the SSA website doesn't always explain it in plain language. So let's slow this down and get very clear right now. In simple terms, December 24 is showing up as a pay-related date for some people this year, but not for everyone. And the reason has nothing to do with a bonus, nothing to do with a special Christmas payment, and nothing to do with a secret increase. It has everything to do with how the calendar falls, how federal holidays work, and how Social Security is legally required to move payments when banks are closed. This matters because December is already the most stressful month of the year for people living on a fixed income. Groceries cost more, heating bills jump, travel costs spike, grandkids expect gifts, and even a 1 or 2 day shift in a deposit can make the difference between calm and panic. So, if you're wondering whether money is coming before Christmas, whether you'll be able to pay bills on time, or whether you're missing something important, you're not alone. Here's the first thing you need to know. Social Security does not randomly send out payments early, ever. The agency follows a strict schedule set by federal law. But when a scheduled payment date lands on a weekend or a federal banking holiday, Social Security is required to move that payment to the previous business day. Christmas Day is a federal holiday. Banks are closed. Federal offices are closed. No direct deposits can be processed that day. So when a payment would normally fall right around Christmas, it has to be adjusted. That adjustment is what's creating all the noise around December 24th. Now, let's talk about why this feels bigger than usual this year. Christmas falls in the middle of the week. That alone forces more schedule shifts than when Christmas falls on a weekend. On top of that, many banks and credit unions release funds 1 or 2 days early as a customer service practice. That means two people receiving the same Social Security benefit from the same program could see money hit their accounts on different days, depending on where they bank. That's why one neighbor might say they got paid early while another hasn't yet. This is where confusion starts to spiral. Some people see a deposit on December 22nd or December 23rd and assume it's a special Christmas payment. Others see December 24th mentioned online and think everyone is getting paid that day. And then there are people who see nothing at all and worry something is wrong. None of those reactions mean you've been forgotten or skipped. It just means the system is working through holiday rules that don't always get explained clearly. So, who does December 24 actually apply to? That's the question everyone wants answered. But before we break that down, it's important to understand that not all Social Security checks are the same. Retirement benefits, disability benefits, survivor benefits, and SSI are scheduled differently. Even within Social Security retirement, payment dates depend on when you started receiving benefits and sometimes even your birth date. That's why two retirees can sit at the same kitchen table and still get paid on different days. Another important point that needs to be said clearly right now: if money arrives before Christmas, that does not mean you are getting extra money. It is not a bonus. It is not a double payment. In many cases, it is January's money being paid early because of the holiday schedule. That's good news in December, but it means January can feel longer if you don't plan for it. Right now, the goal is clarity. December 24th is not a universal Social Security payday. It is not something the SSA announced as a special event. It is a date that shows up because of how certain payments are shifted when Christmas interferes with normal processing. Some people will see deposits before Christmas Eve, some will see them on Christmas Eve, some will not see anything until after Christmas, exactly as scheduled. All of that can be correct at the same time. And here's something else that adds to the stress. December is also when cost of living adjustments show up. Medicare premiums adjust, and deductions can change. So even when money arrives on time, the amount may look slightly different. That alone causes thousands of phone calls to Social Security every December. Offices are busy, hold times are long, and answers are not always easy to get quickly. If you're sitting there thinking, I just want to know if my money is coming and when, that's completely fair. You earned these benefits. You budget around them, and you shouldn't have to guess. That's why it's important to understand your specific payment group and how holidays affect that group. In the next section, we're going to walk through exactly who is likely to see money before Christmas, who isn't, and why both situations are normal. For now, take a breath. December 24th showing up in conversations does not mean something is wrong. It means the calendar is doing what it does every year. It just happens to be doing it at the most emotionally charged time of the year. Now let's talk about the part that really matters to your bank account. Who actually gets paid before Christmas and who does not. We're going to start with SSI because SSI follows a completely different rule book than regular Social Security. If you receive Supplemental Security Income, your payment is normally scheduled for the first of the month. But when the first of the month falls on a weekend or a federal holiday, SSI is paid on the last business day of the previous month. January 1st is a federal holiday. Banks are closed, so the January SSI payment cannot be issued on January 1st. By law, it must be moved earlier. That means many SSI recipients will receive their January SSI payment before Christmas. In practical terms, that often shows up on December 24th or even earlier depending on your bank. For someone receiving the federal SSI amount, that's typically around $900 to just over $900 for an individual and higher for a couple. That money is not extra. It is January's payment arriving early. This is why SSI recipients are the group most likely to see money before Christmas. It's also why January can feel confusing if you're not expecting it. Now let's talk about Social Security retirement, disability, and survivor benefits. If you started receiving benefits after May of 1997, your payment date is tied to your birth date. Birthdays from the 1st through the 10th are paid the second Wednesday. Birthdays from the 11th through the 20th are paid the third Wednesday. Birthdays from the 21st through the 31st are paid the fourth Wednesday. In December, the fourth Wednesday lands very close to Christmas. Christmas Day is a holiday, so payments are adjusted to the business day before. Whether you see the money on the 24th, the 23rd, or even the 22nd depends entirely on your bank. Social Security sends the payment file. Your bank decides when to release the funds. If you started receiving Social Security before May of 1997, or if you receive both SSI and Social Security, your payment date is usually early in the month. Those payments generally stay on schedule in December. If you see two deposits close together, that does not mean you're being double paid. It's the calendar, not extra money. December is also when cost of living adjustments and Medicare premium changes appear. Even if your gross benefit increases, higher deductions can make the net amount feel unchanged or even smaller. If your payment doesn't arrive, wait 3 business days, then check with your bank first. If nothing is pending, contact Social Security. Hold times are longer in December, but most issues do have explanations. Finally, remember this. December feels chaotic, but most payment issues are temporary, explainable, and fixable. Understanding the rules puts you back in control and lowers the stress fast.